and now we're ready to show this on stage. And now we need to figure out how we're going to do that. We can do it with a laptop, which is the obvious solution, but here is a range of alternative ways to present content on stage. If you're just starting out, you probably just have a video camera like this one that you use for creating content, or you can use also as a source. So you connect it in your mixer with one of these cables and use it as a second source. So you've got the laptop on one side, you've got something like this on the other side, and then you can use your mixer to its full potential. You probably have seen some portable DVD players that can also do the same if you want to multiply your sources. So you've got a laptop, which would be probably the main source, and all these other options where you can play around with in your mixer. So these are okay if you're just starting out, but when you're ready for something a bit more professional, there are three categories to choose from. You've got a video sequencer, which we've got an example here with the Edirol P-10. We've got more professional style of DVD players, which this is a DVJ-1000, and video synthesizers. We've got a Edirol CG-8 now, which are three examples of what we can do with without the laptop. So let's look at these units in detail. So this is the Edirol P-10. You use it as you would a sound sequencer. This is audio-visual, so it plays out audio and video together. You can capture your files, you can capture your sequences directly from the input in the back, but you can also store your files on an SD card and load them up from the SD port, turn the unit on, and a few seconds later you're ready to go. So now you've got the content already assigned to different keys. You can assign one video file for each different key, and you have a whole lot of banks to choose from, and you can store about 800 different files this way. As I said, the videos are audio. As I said, the files are AV, so you can control the volume with this button, make the animation go faster or stop, and change the saturation, the color saturation, or fade to black, or have a little whiteout effect, like this. Other interesting things to work with reverse. You can do that in a rhythmic way. So you've got a limited amount of effects. This is essentially to trigger video as you would on a laptop, but now you've got your laptop free to do other things, and it's also an additional source that you put in the mixer. Now to go into the function, you press menu, and then you've got a range of functionalities that you can select from here. You can tweak your unit however you find more interesting. So to just optimize the video quality, this machine comes with a software you install on your machine, and that does the encoding for you. So you're sure that the video that you've created in a post-production, you've created at home, is ready to play back in an optimal way inside the P-10. So you can capture audio and video straight from a source by connecting the inputs from the back of your machine. So if you've got just like a DV camera, you just hook it up here and then press play, and it's ready to record. So another way to do this is to go straight from the SD card. You need to turn off the machine first, and you exit the SD card. You go into your computer, you save your files from there, and then you go back into the SD slot, load the SD card, turn on the machine, and then you've got a whole different set of audio-visual files to play with. There you go. Now you can also connect to your computer with the USB here, and the V-Link is MIDI controls to use your to use your P-10 with any other MIDI control device to use as a remote controller, or you can use it in conjunction with a DJ mixer so that you don't have to operate two things at once. Now in the category of players, we've got the DVJ-1000. It's modeled on the same layout as say a CDJ-1000, so whatever interaction that you would expect from an audio player, here you can do with audio and video. Now you can obviously, if you're using this, you would need to just get yourself, you know, a big wallet of DVDs that you can play a whole night of that you can play a whole hour of performance with, and then you load it up as you would normally a CD, and off you go. This unit doesn't have a preview monitor, so you need to hook it up to that. That would be the first thing you need to do. Now once you've done that, you've got this same type of interaction as a CDJ. You can play and pause and cue with the and scratch with the jog wheel, and if you're happy with where you are on a specific frame, you hit the cue button, and next time you hit the cue button, it goes exactly to it starts playing exactly where you've set your cue. Now this is just a playback machine. It doesn't have any onboard effects, but it has a lot of ways where you can play back the content. You can cue it. You can do some real-time cue in and out, and that will just play the frames in between your clicks. You can exit the loop. Let's find a section where something interesting is happening, and you've got it in here, and you've got it out, and it's going to play continuously as long as you don't press the exit button. Press the exit button and it carries on. You can also have a hot cue. How the hot cue works is you scroll to a section of the video that you want to start the cue with, and you go to record mode, press the A button, get out of the record mode by clicking this button one more time, and then next time you press the A, which is turned green. Now it is queued up with that specific frame. Yeah, so that's pretty much the things you can do with a DVJ-1000. As I said, this is a player. It doesn't have any onboard effect. It just has a lot of features to play back and forth a specific media. And the media in question is DVDs. You have to get yourself a nice big wallet of DVDs, so you have enough for your whole performance throughout the night or however long your performance is. And one thing you have to also keep in mind is you just have to be able to author the DVDs in such a way that is best suited for the DVJs. What I recommend is to have no menus. So if you look at a DJ playing on a CDJ, they normally just have one track on a CD. you would want to do the same thing. That would just help you kind of with the flow, go with the flow. So you've done one track, the track is finished. You just eject that specific DVD. It's got one track on it, doesn't have any menu, and then you move on to the next one, and you build that up, and you just program the DVD to go straight into that one track on the load, and you don't have to scroll into any menu. You can if you want to. You've got this feature to scroll into a menu, but as I said, if you have the option, I would recommend not have any menu. You just have one track, and it loads in straight to that track, and it's ready to play. So let's get this one going. At the moment, I've just got it on particle generator. So now this is a very simple one, but already I can change the X, Y, and Z aspect of it. And for example, what I can do, I can change the color as well. So from purple to green a minute ago, all the way to yellow and red. Now I can change these things manually, or I can change this thing automatically. This way. So now it's going back and forth on the X-axis according to the settings I've predetermined. So obviously I can change that. I can change the speed to go to a specific rhythm. I can interact with the particle generator with these knobs, which change the rotation axis, with the pad here, but also there's a distance beamer here, so that can be assignable to some of the parameters. Now I've just changed the rotation that can be assigned to the distance beam. So again, going beyond laptop interaction, all of a sudden I'm playing with my hand. I have a body movement that can relate directly to what the visuals are doing, and obviously relates to how the audience perceives the performance. And that's definitely an advantage over someone that looks like he's checking their email. Now I've got 16 options of particle generation. I hold the effect button and I press another number, and all of a sudden I've got another series of 16 presets. So again, all the interactions I showed a minute ago, these are valid for these ones, for these presets. So changing with the D-beam again, which you can spend a long time exploring in your own time. But let's explore something else now. We've got also the option to work with stills and pictures that you can load separately. So let's find an effect that would work well. So this is just a typical kind of postcard image, and now let's have it do something interesting, so we can have it moving. So now it's just spinning around on a bit of cue. Let's have that a bit slower. Here we go. And another effect. So now it's more like on a sphere. It was on a cube a minute ago. Now it's on a sphere, and obviously I can change the color as I was with the particle generator. So when I'm go into a bigger setup, obviously I can use this in combination with a laptop, with another DVD player, and then start crossfading all these together with my mixer. So this concludes our lesson on content delivery. But still, we find some people who are going to ask the question, why should I use anything else than a laptop for my AV performance? The obvious answer I have to give to that is, why not? Or put it this way, if you go into a club tonight and the DJ playing the music is playing everything from the back of a laptop, how does that make you feel? Is that a performance that you want to look at? There you go. I'm not saying laptops are bad, I'm just saying it's a very small area of the options that you've got available for you. One thing I want to highlight is the units we've seen today are standard definition. If you want to work into high definition content, there's still a limited range of options that you can use. You can have a connection straight from a hard drive via HDMI or DVI connection, but you're very limited on the playback options. It just plays at one type of speed. You can't do, for example, any scratching or changing the colors, things like that.